please introduce yourself, tell us your name and your role here and what's going on, what's happening.
Hi guys, thank you very much for the opportunity. My name is Jorge Britto. I am ADCC Open Canada organizer. Today we are running the first event in Canada, branching out from ADCC, which is the Abu Dhabi Combat Club, based in Abu Dhabi. Is the most recognized in the best grappling event in the world.
Absolutely. And here we are. I'm seeing people train here. We're in the cafeteria. There's people training. There's people waiting. It's the afternoon right now. And I believe the finals are about to happen soon. Is that correct?
Yes. We will host the final for the advanced divisions. There are like athletes from states, athletes from Toronto, from Ottawa, from Montreal. It's going to be a huge display of skills. Like those are the best athletes around. In North America, their guys are great, and we're very excited, like to have this showcase of skills. And then they're going to be live on YouTube, which is going to be amazing. Going to give opportunity to a lot of people to see the Canadian grappling scene, and this is one of the main things here. You know, like to be able to give like these guys another platform to show their work. Like the grappling as a sport, as a professional sport, is growing exponentially. It's very, very, very good to see like how much the sport's getting popular. Like people all over the world is training, and Canada is not different, and it's doing a great job.
Are you saying there's a lot of talent in Canada?
Oh, a lot more than people know, and that's why we work very hard to bring the best organizations to the country, give the opportunity to all our competitors to highlight their skills and get more exposure in the international scene.
Just before the interview, I asked you how many participants were here, and you said there were 700 participants, which is an incredible number. Can you paint the picture as to the type of competitors that were competing today? You had young athletes, you had teenagers. Kind of break it down for us, please.
Yeah, grappling, jiu-jitsu in the general way, it's a form of sport that include people from all walks of life, right? So the divisions start from like kids from a very young age, such as 7, 8, 9 years old, to adults up to masters, which is like over 40 years old.
Wow.
So the 750 competitors were like spread in different divisions and skill levels of intermediate, advanced, and beginners. And yes, it's just like so rewarding to see like how popular it is. This is actually the biggest grappling only event ever in Canada. Like I don't think any other event has.
For no gi?
For no gi, yes.
Oh, wow.
For no
that
gi
number.
only.
You mean this particular event?
Yes, because all the other events, I know because I organize a lot of events here.
Okay.
All the other events are always gi and no gi, right? So this is a no gi only event, and we had 750 competitors.
Quick question for you. What is more popular globally from your perspective and your experience and so on? Gi or no gi?
I think there is I won't say one is more popular than the other. A lot, the larger part of the practitioners, they will practice the both gi and no gi. But there's like a huge amount of people that only do no gi, and there's another huge part of the practitioner that only do gi. But it's I'm highly involved, and I see the rise of no gi a lot. It's appeal more because the rules of ADCC specifically, they're very exciting to watch. It's very hard, like you don't see like a boring match,
right?
And that brings a lot of people to come and take a look.
Give us a quick breakdown of the rules as to why you say they're exciting. I know what you mean, but break it down for us, please.
Once the rules are designed to push the athletes to give their best and to be more not aggressive but more progressive, like looking for a better position, looking for a submission. It rewards the athletes that try more,
right?
And it doesn't give much space for a strategy.
Okay.
Which like you build a strategy based on that level of commitment working towards a submission or a progression. And then that makes the fights more exciting. Also, the fact that they don't have the gi, it stops less the fight, right? Because they can move around like more freely.
There's no stalling.
I mean, if you think about it, when you understand deeply the rules of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, for example,
sure,
like the stalling is being very it's not a lot more. Like back in the day, they adjust the rules now to like have very little stalling. But Jiu-Jitsu, because the kimono, it slows down the pace of the match, and some of the matches are also longer, which like force the athletes in the search of winning to be more on the strategy and tactic. It builds more of that pace, a little bit slower pace. So that's still like some athletes that go crazy out there, but the vast majority might be caught in some positions that they have to think a little more in the way that what they're going to give next. Once like in the no-gi, like a lot of the things they faded out right away, because like you go and try a submission, but then you scramble, and right away you're not in the back anymore, and you can slip around off the back attack, and that give that advantage of using the physicality and the slipperiness to find, and that makes more excited to watch.
Quick question for you in regards to the state of no-gi in Canada. You've organized events all over the place, as you said from the top. What are Canadians known for within the no-gi milieu, or is Canada, making the podiums internationally?
Oh yeah, we have like a lot of great athletes. We have Dante Leon. We have Brienne Saint Marie. There's so many guys here. It's hard for me to name many because like they're all placing, but there's still a lot more.
At the younger level, at the all over.
I will say all levels. There's still a lot more because sometimes like there's not much attention on the media, and they sometimes don't get the recognition.
How come?
Like
sorry, I just have to.
Because a lot of our events here don't really have coverage. The mainstream media in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and grappling, which is the flow grapplings. But
these are some of the most popular grappling sports, like non-Olympic sports, in the world right now.
Yeah, but that's the first event, right? So if you think about it, it's like we're just getting the first one in here.
Sure.
So that already says that. Imagine how many grappling epic matches that we had here that they're not being witnessed by a lot of fans because we don't have the coverage.
Right.
Like, I put on YouTube, or it's not the same. It's like you don't have the reach, you don't have the audience, so people won't really like go to take a look in a small Canadian event. But like when people start to come out and compete and start to check it out and hear a name here and there, like the events might get more exposure, but the athletes will get more recognition, by itself.
Absolutely, and they deserve the recognition. Now, you're running the logistics for this tournament here. I know you've probably been here since I don't know how early this morning. I appreciate your time. I don't want to take more of your time.
My pleasure.
Lead us into what it takes to organize such a big event. You're coming in from Toronto. You have a team, I guess, that's made up of people from all over. What does it take to run and coordinate such a big event like this?
First is the passion for the sport. Right. I love Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I love grappling. When I was a young kid and when I saw the ADCC come out from Abu Dhabi, and I saw my professors like Saulo Ribeiro and Jorge Britto competing at that event, I was always in my mind, like to dream to one day to compete in the ADCC, and that was always like our dream. We want to be world champions. We want to one day compete in the ADCC.
Right.
And I always pursue for that dream. Like I compete trials in Brazil, I compete trials in Europe. I won a European Championships in 2010. I placed third in 2012. I competed the main events, the ADCC World Championships in 2011, and it was always a passion of mine. So especially because I also compete in MMA a lot, so I always follow very closely the sport. And then when I had the opportunity to just be part of it in the country that I live, I was like, my God, I will give my very best, and I'm giving my very best to bring this here, because I know today I'm pretty sure we have a lot of dreams being fulfilled. There's a lot of guys that now get inspired and making decisions that are gonna like change the course of their life because they're able to compete in an event like that. And then to me to contribute to that, like to be a channel of this positive thing, to build that environment, it's amazing. I'm really happy with that.
Bro, I can sense the authenticity, when you say that. I think that's very important.
Thank you.
One last question, two last questions. Why is it important for people like yourselves who've achieved in the sport? As you mentioned, you've listed your achievement. Why is it important to give back to the sport? I know you've kind of answered it already, but why is it important? And what are you hoping that events like these do to the state of no-gi and jiu-jitsu in this country?
Look, to me, I feel like I own that to jiu-jitsu because I own everything I have in my life. Like to God, because I believe God put jiu-jitsu in my life and gave me a mission.
Wow.
To spread that, because I discover myself spiritually inside those mats. And
really, eh?
Yeah, like the fight.
Can you? Sorry, I believe what you're saying, but can you expand on this and give us an example? Because you're making that's a big statement.
When you fight, you truly express yourself, and then you can hide you from your emotions. You can maybe lose a match, walk up here smiling, or you can win and pretend. But like from within, you can't hide yourself from the fear, from the anxiety, and sometimes for the overconfidence. And when you have the opportunity to mold and shape yourself up, you need to go deep inside yourself, and then we see the weakness of our spirit.
Wow!
And then to me, it was the way I found God, and the true essence of the strongest spirit ever. And then I like to be able to create that environment that people can expose themselves for their own and find their way of life in there. Some people might just touch the surface. Some people might go deep or deeper than me. But I feel like to me, I want to expose that to more people. I believe jiu-jitsu, grappling in the general way, is the ultimate personal development tool.
Wow.
There's nothing better than that, because it keeps you in shape. And first of all, you build a healthy lifestyle. You get to know yourself better, and you learn how to control emotions. And that's the ultimate resource of life, is the emotional control. Because when you go out there, you need to learn from the day you sign up for a tournament, for the outcome of the tournament, the moments that you go there and the arm is raised or not, you need to learn how to deal the emotions from every day. And then you create rituals, you create forms to regulate those feelings, and they become useful for your life. And then competition brings this out of people, and it's for everyone. Right. You see, there's kids that compete here, and then just tomorrow in the morning they're going to school as well. There's fathers that tomorrow are going to be in the office, and everyone came here, put themselves out in a higher level of stress, able to connect with their own selves. I think the world today lack on that. People spend too much time on the screen, getting too much information, and then they forgot to connect with their own selves. So they start to copy, mimic things. But right here, you can't fake it. You need to find who you are in order to express yourself successfully.
That's incredible, man. Just quick follow-up. Do you communicate that to your students, to the community as a whole? You communicate that, eh? Wow.
That's it. So I have an association of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu called Jiu-Jitsu for Life team.
Okay.
Because Jiu-Jitsu for Life in the matter of Jiu-Jitsu for life. I believe you have to see the sport, the martial art, as an asset. Right. To you become a better human being.
Interesting. So you're about values, you're about ethics and progressing just outside of the
become a better citizen and make the world a better place.
Fantastic, man. Where can we find more about this?
About jiu-jitsu?
Jiu-jitsu for life. I want to hear more about where can we follow you?
JorgeBritto.com. You can just go on Instagram and look for that, or just go JORG. Just my name, Jorge Britto. Okay. BJJ at Instagram. Follow a little bit of my journey. I'm okay on the social media. I like to live the moment. Right. It's in the same time that I want to be present there, but I want to be present there to people know, look, let's come out of this thing and let's make it things for real. I love the handshakes. I love the eye to eye.
Right.
I love the walk around, the hugs. I love the fights.
Mm-hmm.
I love the competition. I love the everyday battles that we live. Like I like it a lot, the social media, but I like to when I have an opportunity to talk to my students presently there, I feel like I impact them much more. So
absolutely, I think a lot of what you're saying, though, as just some guy who's interviewing you and really listening, I think there's a real value for what you're saying has value beyond that. You know what I mean? You're connecting it to your own spiritual connection, your personal development, and I think that's that sort of content that we need to hear more of, because it's not just fighting. I mean, it's grappling, it's physical, but there's a whole other element that's
this is
spiritual.
What we try to put it out there. It's like that's like a one form of promoting is like that. Today we have so much people coming here. There's friends of the competitors coming to check it out. So they're gonna after check it out online, and that's gonna make them wonder, wow, this person is developing so much. It might be that. And then they're going to look for a school and train jiu-jitsu. And then today we have amazing professors and teachers all over the place.
Right.
Like the sport's getting better. The martial arts is huge. And as I said before, it's like to me a huge honor to be able to be a channel of contribution.
Thank you very much, man.
You're welcome. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak up.
I'm really enjoyed this conversation.
I appreciate it.
I'm going to be interviewing some more competitors, but thank you for giving that.
Thank you very much for coming here.
Cheers.
My pleasure.